Welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today because, well, we're going to explore what is essentially the deterministic heartbeat of modern manufacturing. If you've ever looked at a massive, high-speed factory floor and just wondered how on earth they keep track of everything without the whole operation falling apart, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're taking a really deep dive into the technology that powers flawless automated production. We're talking about the PLC counter. So think about this for a second. How does a factory count 10,000 bottles a minute without making a single mistake? Honestly, imagine trying to do that manually. By the time you've even blinked, a dozen products have already zipped past you on the conveyor belt. The sheer scale and speed of high-speed industrial production is just mind-boggling. Human error isn't just a possibility in this kind of scenario, it's practically guaranteed. Yet somehow, these massive automated facilities run 24/7 with absolute, unwavering precision. How do they pull it off? Well, the secret lies in a tiny, incredibly powerful piece of digital logic.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. Number 1, the factory floor mathematician. Number 2, inside a PLC counter. 3, real-world industrial action. 4, why use PLC counters? And finally, number 5, DEVI automation solutions. Let's jump right in.
All right, Section 1, the factory floor mathematician, defining the core concept. Okay, so at its most basic level, a PLC counter is a specialized digital instruction sitting right inside a programmable logic controller, and its entire job is just to count the number of times an event occurs. Within the PLC's continuous scan cycle, the counter acts kind of like a highly focused, absolutely flawless, lightning-fast digital turnstile. Every single time an event happens, say a bottle passing by a sensor, that digital turnstile spins. It strictly tracks every single product. Perfectly. Every single time. I actually really like to call them the invisible mathematicians. Because if you try to picture the sheer chaos of manual counting, people standing around with clipboards, desperately trying to tally items on a fast-moving belt, getting distracted, losing their count, it's just a total nightmare for efficiency. But when you replace that with the elegant, error-free reality of these invisible mathematicians, everything changes. In a high-speed bottling plant, they're just sitting quietly in the digital background, doing the math flawlessly, literally millions of times a day, just making sure that every single crate has exactly the right number of bottles.
Moving on to Section 2. Inside a PLC counter, components and principles.
So what actually makes this tick? The anatomy of a counter basically relies on 4 essential components. First up, you have the input signals from sensors. Think of this as the eyes of the operation, like a laser or a physical switch that actually detects an object. Second, you've got the internal counting logic inside the PLC itself, which is the brain processing that signal. Third, there are predetermined target values. This is essentially the magic number the PLC is trying to reach, like, say, 12 bottles for a 12-pack of soda. And finally, you have the output execution triggers. This is the muscle. It's the command the PLC fires off to actually do something once that target number is hit, like physically pushing that 12-pack off the line.
And these 4 components, they build into this really deliberate, beautiful logical flow. Step 1, the sensor detects the object on the belt. Step 2, a signal is instantly fired off to the PLC. Step 3, the counter registers that signal and either increments up or decrements down, depending on exactly how it's programmed. And then, Step 4, this is where the absolute magic happens. An action is triggered the very millisecond the target count is reached. A diverter arm sweeps, a box is sealed shut, or maybe a machine powers down. It is just a continuous, perfectly timed sequence.
Section 3 now, real-world industrial action, from theory to practice.
What's incredibly cool is that PLC counters are highly versatile across totally different industries. We're talking about handling frequencies up to hundreds of thousands of times per second. In the food and beverage industry for high-speed bottling, the counter's role is making absolutely sure that exactly 12 units make it into a 12-pack. No more, no less. Down in manufacturing, we have batching parts. Here, the counter actually stops the conveyor the exact moment 50 units drop into a bin. And over in logistics, when you're dealing with millions of packages, the counter is tracking the daily throughput on a sorting line so warehouse managers have perfect, real-time data on their productivity.
All right, Section 4, why use PLC counters? The big win.
If you compare old mechanical relays to modern PLC counters, it reveals this massive leap in efficiency. I mean, back in the old days, factories had to use physical, clunky mechanical relays to keep count. They had moving parts, which meant they wore out, they got stuck, and frankly, they were slow.
Modern PLC counters, they have absolutely zero moving parts. Because it's purely digital logic, you get a massive leap in speed. We are literally talking microsecond reaction times here. You get perfect, unwavering accuracy, and overall efficiency just skyrockets because you're drastically reducing maintenance downtime and completely eliminating human counting labor. It is for sure a total game changer.
Which brings us to Section 5, DEVI Automation Solutions, your next step.
Now, if you're looking to harness this kind of power for yourself, DEVI Automation Solutions is the ultimate partner. Their expertise is just massive. They don't just set up simple PLC counters, they handle comprehensive industrial automation, advanced PLC and HMI systems, and seamless SCADA and VFD integration. But what's really exciting is they also look to the future, offering AI and industrial Internet of Things solutions. They even apply these exact same automation principles to smart agriculture, home automation, and solar solutions. So, whether you just need a single PLC programmed or a fully integrated AI factory floor, they absolutely have the wide-ranging expertise to make it happen perfectly.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer today. If you found this breakdown of PLC counters valuable, please make sure to subscribe so you never miss our future deep dives. If you're ready to upgrade your own systems, you can reach out directly to DEVI at deviautomationsolutions@gmail.com. But before we go, I want to leave you with this one provocative thought. Now that you know about the flawless, invisible mathematics powering the modern world, what will be the first step in your own automation journey? Really think about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next explainer.